Hey, everybody. All right, so kind of a quiet end to the day. We are waiting for tomorrow's non-farm payroll report, where I predict it'll be higher than last month, higher than August, the September report, but probably in line with the 190,000 that the market is expecting right now. But I also wanted to mention one more thing, just to bring a little bit more perspective to this gold market sell-off, okay? Earlier, I told you that the net liquidation in the last week, over 60,000 contracts, which equates to 60 million ounces of gold. To put that even more in perspective, that 60 million ounces of gold equals 1,875 tons of gold, 1,875 tons of gold. The entire global gold consumption for jewelry last year, which is the largest element of gold consumption. There's jewelry demand, there's central banks buying it, there's the ETFs, there's investment, right? But by far the largest demand comes from jewelry fabrication, which was 2,300 tons. So in a week, the market liquidated or sold the equivalent of 80% of the entire annual consumption of gold for jewelry. I mean, so the question we should be asking is not how come gold is down so much. The question is how come it didn't fall even more when you sell almost 2,000 tons of gold. Go out now and say, you know what? Central banks last year, with all the talk about how much gold central banks were buying, they bought 550 tons. So the liquidation in the last week was more than 3 times what central banks bought in the whole entire year last year. So the question is not, why is gold down? The question is, why isn't it down $300 an ounce? Okay, so it fell 50, $60. And again, I'm no big fan of gold, but I have to put everything in perspective. You got to be rational about this stuff. It's an overkill, okay? It is an overkill. And if it came as a result of the ECB saying maybe sometime late next year we'll start with a tiny little taper of 10 billion a month off of the 80 billion that we're already buying, maybe. And by the way, the ECB even said today, you know what? We think we need some more stimulus. In their minds, it's stimulus, right? Or the fact that maybe there's going to be a rate hike in December by the Fed of 25 basis points. I mean, and you sell 2,000 tons of gold? That is insanity personified. So and by the way, I see a lot of articles popping up online again. Is this the bear market? The new bear market? Silver's in a bear market. Gold. So there you go. And again, I'm not cheerleading for gold. I hate gold. But I'm talking as a trader. That's it. 1,875 tons in a week sold. Go do that. See what happens to the market. You think it'll drop $50? It'll drop 500. All right? 300 at least. So that's the question we should be asking. Not how come it's down $60. How come it's not down 300? There you go. Bye.